Hey fellas, we're back with another episode of Man Up. And I'm writing this book. Well, I won't get into the book, but I've segmented it down. I've segmented it down into different chapters. Each chapter is based on a single line of what it means to, for example, man up or whatever the book has to do with. I won't tell you. But so each chapter is an aspect of this collective call to action. And then so I'm writing these different chapters. I'm writing the chapter titles, um, and thinking about what it means to be a man, what that looks like in our daily lives, how do we become better men, and so forth. And I wrote this down. I said, how can a life truly be lived in an avoidance of danger and pain? And to be honest, I wrestle with this desire. I wrestle with this desire for safety because it's a very human desire. It's a natural desire. Um, it's about self-preservation. It's about keeping our family safe. It's about longevity. It's about living long lives. But we've come to a time or a place in many of our lives where this desire for safety is getting in the way of us living. And what do I mean by this? I mean the reality of being a man, of living your best life, is taking or coming to grips with reality, with the truth of what it means to be a man and what it means to be a great man, because you're not here for mediocrity. You're not here to go through the motions and whatever. And so to be a great man, you have to seek the unknown, you have to seek danger, and you have to put your body in harm's way if it means that you are doing some good. So, as a man, you have to come to grips with three fundamental truths. For one, you're a protector and you're a defender. That is, as a man, you're born with the capacity to do what men have done since men have been men, and that is to protect and defend. It's men that are surrounding the cities, defending our city gates. It's men that are protecting our homes. It's men that are protecting our children, our women, or those who cannot protect and defend themselves. What a lot of us, or what so many, especially in our society now, in our hyper politically correct, hyper emasculated, postmodern experiment nonsense where we're trying to make genders the same. Not equal, but the same. What we forget is that we have this greater capacity for strength to do harm to other people. Now, there's bad in doing harm to other people in that... Fucking shit, phone went off. Sorry, guys. Turn that off. There's bad in doing harm to other people, obviously, and that is where you get bad men, where you get men taking advantage of women, and we won't get into it. You know what I'm talking about. When you use your strength for evil. There is that, but this capacity to do harm to others is also a good thing if you are good. And what we're neglecting in our society is that it's not only an option for men to be protectors and defenders and warriors. It's a necessity. It's an obligation, because you have different hormones, because you've been bred over thousands of years to do war, to fight and defend. You have to create the strongest body you have possible. You have to get in the best shape you can possible. You have to learn the skills that are self-defense, so that when it may never happen, but if you ever have to protect and defend someone, you have to be good at protecting and defending people. You're of no use as a man if you don't have the skills that men have been perfecting for thousands of years. So come to grips with that fact. You are a protector and defender. And if you're not training your body, if you're not acquiring skill, if you're not acquiring the courage and gameness that you need to defend those who cannot defend themselves against pieces of shit who will take advantage of them, and those pieces of shit are in every society, more in some than others, but in a literal sense, they're in every society. People are going to rob other people, people are going to kill other people are going to rape other people are going to assault other people, and we need strong men to do the protecting and defending. That means you cannot be the bystander. You cannot see things happen and simply walk by and say, that's not my fight, that's not my battle. I've got better things to do. They'll take care of themselves. As a man, you can't do that. You have this capacity, so you have to train this capacity, you have to perfect this capacity, and you have to live this capacity. You have to put action behind this. As a side note, I don't understand how people are anti-gun and pro-women's rights or whatever. Guns are the equalizer. So you have a big man who wants to assault or rape a woman. If she's carrying a gun, that's the equalizer. A woman's as good with a gun as a man is with a gun. Like, the capacity is the same. It's a weapon. It's a tool, should I say. It's a tool. So if you're pro women's rights, if you want women to be safe, and if you want them to be able to to protect themselves, not have to depend on a man or so forth, you should be pro-gun, because that's what's going to keep them safe when some piece of shit's trying to attack them. Anyways, that's an aside. Second of all, I've been in and out of a book on James Cook. Great explorer, great man. As far as his ambition was insane. He came from nothing. He wasn't a part of the political class. He wasn't a part of the elite. He came from a farming family, and he wanted to etch his name into the history books. So even though he rose up as a merchant, which you get paid far more as a merchant than you do in the Navy, he rose up in the ranks as a merchant, got his own ship, and then realized, as a merchant, you've got certain routes that you have to follow. So he said he figured that true glory, true greatness existed in the Navy, even though wealth existed in sailing as a merchant. Greatness and his name in history books existed in the Navy. So even though he was a poor guy, when a poor guy starts to earn money, it's pretty fucking hard to quit that and jump over to something else for a hunch or on a belief. But that's what he did. He was rising in the merchants, switched over to the Navy, and then boldly went where no man had gone before. He was trying to prove that there was or wasn't an Antarctica. They had different views of what Antarctica would be. Thought that would be lush like most of the southern hemisphere. But anyway, he basically explored it without knowing he had found it. And so I'm looking at this guy, and I've got books on Lewis and Clark and other guys, like, well, Teddy Roosevelt went down to Brazil and mapped out a previously unmapped part of the Amazon. I think it was. I've got the book on him that I still have to read. I forget what it's called. It's on the shelf behind me. But men are and always have been explorers. There's something about us that we feel the need, where everyone else stops at the turn, we feel the need to go around the corner and see what's there. And then if it's a big mountain, we feel the need, like going hiking with buddies. We love going through the woods. We love going through passes. But there's something about a summit, being on top of a mountain, that makes you feel as though you've really accomplished something and that you've conquered something. Men are innately explorers. We have this. If you look at girls playing, this isn't obviously, it's not saying one's better than the other, but if you look at girls playing and if you look at guys playing, guys are always the one, little boys are always the ones getting into shit. Girls are doing their own kind of exploring. It's a different kind of exploring. Our exploring is very literal. We want to see what we're not supposed to see, or we want to see what we have yet to see. That has to carry in throughout manhood. I don't know. I had a weird thought. I'm talking to a camera. It's fucking weird. With a microphone. Anyway, so we have this. We have explorers in our blood. We have protectors and defenders in our blood. In your own life, you have to explore. You have to both explore the land. You have to explore people, and you have to explore your soul. You have to push yourself beyond what you know you can do. That's where life exists. Life and toughness exist beyond what you know you can handle and accomplish. So no matter what you're doing, set your goals a little higher and always go a step further. You may get hurt, you may fail, but that's a part of life. And a life without failure, a life without broken bones, a life without concussions, a life without pain is not a life. That is not living. Living doesn't happen in safety. It doesn't happen in the safety of a house, in the ease of what our lives have become, where we don't have to hunt for our food, we don't have to do anything. Life exists going beyond what we know and what we know we're capable of. And the third has to do with that pain. Without practicing pain, you can't become the man you're capable of becoming. You can't be as tough as you're capable of being. You can't see the world to the degree that you have the potential to see it. You can't experience adventures. You can't create the toughness, the grit. You cannot persist and create the life you are capable of creating if you do not only persist through pain, but seek it out and welcome it into your life. Very literally, that means going to the gym and working your ass off, pushing through sets. That means hiking mountains. That means persisting when most would quit. It means when you're on a mountain. It means when you're hiking. It means when you're in the gym. Recognizing when that pain is coming, recognizing the voice in your head that wants you to quit, and pushing through it. It's a very literal battle that will help you persist in the bigger things in life, and it'll help you persist. It'll help you persist in the bigger things in life, and it'll help you set the goals that your potential deems. No, it'll help you set the goals that are worthy of your potential. Right now, I'm pretty convinced that most of us, including myself, are not setting the goals, the audacious goals that are worthy of what we can potentially become. So that's it. Started off with the quote, "How can a life truly be lived in avoidance of danger and pain?" Come to the realization that you're a protector and defender, and you have to train your body so that when that time comes, you'll be of use. You're not going to be useless. You're not going to be pushed over. You're going to do some good so that whoever you're defending can at least get away. Second, you're an explorer. Go beyond what you know. Go beyond what is safe. That's where life exists. If you want to live a safe life, you're not going to live a life. You're simply going to pass life by, and it will pass you by as well. And third, without practicing pain on a daily basis, you cannot become a man. So go to the gym, do push-ups early in the morning, stay focused for longer than your body wants you to, and persist and set bigger goals. And that is, in some way, hopefully this podcast will help you realize that happiness isn't the beach that everyone's taking a picture of with their feet put up and a Corona by them. It's nice. We all go there sometimes, I'm sure. It's nice. It's nice when it's a reward. It's nice when you're working toward. But true life, the experience of life exists beyond what you're comfortable doing. That's where thrills exist. That's where toughness is found, and that's where life, or that's where your potential will then be found. It's beyond what you know you can do. So set bigger goals, appreciate pain, and explore. Talk soon.